11 years old, my mom and I took a journey to the grocery store, which is usual, right? Well, as we got further and further away from the cold section, my mom said, "Oh, Catherine, I forgot the hot dogs. Can you run back and get them?" Now, at the time, like I mentioned, I was a fan. I ate them 24/7, would heat them up from the package, eat them any way possible. So, I approached the hot dogs, and if you've ever gone to the grocery store, you know there's a wide variety. So I'm looking and looking, and I pick up a package that looks close to the one my mom used to get. So I pick it up, and I made this mistake of flipping it over and accidentally taking a peek at the ingredients. Now, I have not eaten a hot dog in 7 years because of what I saw. Hot dogs are highly processed, and that means like the more you process a hot dog or a meat, for instance, it can be anything salami, lunch meats, you lose a lot of nutritional value. So you get further and further away from the real product, what it was when you began. The second reason you really should say no to a hot dog is because of what it contains. It contains, now, to be honest, not all hot dogs contain this. There are nitrate-free hot dogs, but the cheaper brands have what's called nitrate in them. And this chemical can actually cause, and this is how they're like smoked, they get that smoky flavor. Research shows that if a child consumes more than one hot dog per week, they're at an increased risk for brain tumors and an increased risk for leukemia. So you might want to watch how many hot dogs you're giving your kids. A second thing involving what it contains is it has excess sodium, salt, you know, and salt's definitely not good for you. It can raise your blood pressure, it can do things, crazy things with your heart, so you really should try to avoid salts. And there's a large amount, not only in hot dogs, but in all other lunch meats. Another reason I think the audience should say no to the hot dog is because of the byproducts. Hot dogs are a random selection, or what a lot of people call mystery meat. They contain meats from multiple factories. They really get like the leftovers. So say a chicken plant, the chicken factory, processing factory, anything they don't want, they send to this hot dog factory. And along with the ham factory, you know, all these different meats are being sent over to the hot dog factory. And so then you have a smorgasbord of meats in one product. Some hot dogs, especially the cheaper brands, can contain offal, which I put equals awful, which are actually the innards, like the liver, the heart, the kidneys of animals. And they're just thrown in there like they're, you know, good for you, and they're not. Also, another thing to consider is that when hot dogs are cased, they can either be in a natural casing or an artificial casing. If they're natural, then that means they're lined with small intestine. And in order to use those, they have to be bleached. And so that's just, you know, polluting your, you really shouldn't swallow bleach. I mean, it does say do not swallow and do not drink on a bleach bottle, does it not? They can also be in an artificial casing, which is paper, and it's blown off once they are done. So really, when you consider all of these things, do you want to put that in your body? Of course not, you know, because you don't need to. You don't need the nitrate in your body. You don't need the sodium. Who really wants to eat, you know, a leg, bone of a chicken in their hot dog, and, you know, the kidney of a pig and another part? All those things thrown into one is kind of nasty, don't you think? So, I really think the audience should just say no to the hot dog. Okay? Are there any questions?
As far as research, and you said you found research that giving a child at least more than one hot dog a week will actually cause brain tumors. Where did you find that?
It's on a website that talks about, I don't remember the exact name, but it is talking about diet supplements and diet regulations, how a child should receive certain vitamins, and that if they're receiving vitamins, you think, they're getting kind of a leg up, but really, you have to watch their intake, because if they're intaking something like nitrate, there's nothing really that can stop that, So, and for me, it was a wake-up call, because when I was doing it, I'm a nanny for my nephew and my niece, and my nephew totally digs the hot dog, and he loves it. So, of course, when he's crying, I'm, getting the one thing I know he'll eat. So now it's made me think twice about what I want to give him.
And the sodium, they're very high in sodium.
Very, very high. Any processed meat. So hot dogs, bologna, processed ham, all those sorts of things. Another question? Yes.
What's the good kind of hot dog you can eat?
An example of a good brand would be like Ballpark. They're nitrate-free. So you just want to look for the good brands. The ones that cost more, they're usually going to be better for you, but you pay for it. You don't want, the leftovers from a plant. So really, it's worth spending the extra, 50 cents. So.
How does processing it remove its nutritional value?
I'm not quite sure exactly how it sucks the nutrients out, but it's just the process it just goes through just removes it, and it's too much. It kills the vitamins and the proteins. So,
is there any hot dogs that you would recommend?
now, me not being a hot dog eater, I would only recommend all beef hot dogs. Of course, I still don't eat the all beef. I kind of tend to think it's a lie just because I'm not a hot dog fan. But there are all beef hot dogs. If you're going to eat them, I'd say the Ballpark brand all beef is probably going to be your best bet.
Having excess sodium in your diet, what does that cause?
A lot of times, the excess sodium, one of the main things it will do is increase you'll have high blood pressure, which can cause lots of headaches, lots of different issues. So you don't want to have high blood pressure, of course. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you.